Hello Pisces, welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Pisces, it's Wild Unknown week, and here we are to cap it off with you, Pisces, saving the best for last. We're going to use the Wild Unknown Tarot and Oracle decks. We're going to look at your energy, an energy outside of you, what these two energies are creating, and we're going to start with the Wild Unknown Oracle deck. So let's see, Pisces. So Pisces. I think what I see here, and we'll have to talk it out together to really understand it, is that there's some sort of a boundary that's been placed between you and someone else. I feel like you've placed the boundary. You've placed a boundary here. And I think this person is like, why? What's going on? What's going on? So there's a couple ways I want to read this, because I have, with a lot of cards, I have my own meaning of the cards. The elk tends to be, it's very similar. My own meaning to this is very similar to what it is written in the book. I'm going to kind of carefully touch on what my interpretation of these cards are, and then I'm going to incorporate what the book talks about, because I feel like both are valid. And I feel like both interpretations kind of add to each other in fulfilling and magnifying the story here. So you're coming up as the elk. This to me is very much like the King of Pentacles. It is, and it's described in the book too, as a wonderful father, mother, spouse, partner. Like, it's a very solid energy, really, really solid energy. This is the energy of someone who could be the backbone of any business that they're running, the backbone of any family that they're in. Right, and I don't want to say it's not an energy that I don't encounter with you guys, but it's a very unique energy, and it's not the dreamy, the sort of dreamy, mystical, creative, artistic Pisces energy that I usually find myself dipping into. But you're also very mutable. So I know that you guys can take on different energies at different times quite in a very flexible way compared to a lot of the other signs. So you are right now showing up as this. And your energy is like going this way. It's not looking at this other energy, but this other energy is looking at you, okay? So this is, we'll get into the tarot because that's an easy interpretation, but it's the oracle cards that I find really unique here. So between my own interpretation and the author, Kim Kranz, of this deck, it is a very, I want to say it's very similar, the way that I see it and how she's written it. So you are very reliable. I want to say that you're an excellent manifester. It's just the way that he's utilizing the energy through his antlers, his or her antlers, and the eclipse too. Like, you are able to kind of tap into the energies that are what's going on around you. At any level, like maybe the energy of people around you. I think you're really in tune to the energy of people around you, including the energy of the cosmos. Like, you incorporate that in ways here to create, and yeah. Okay, the peacock is an interesting energy. So the way that I look at the peacock is I look at it as a very intuitive Nine of Pentacles, because all of these little eyes look like pentacles to me. And there's 9 of them. And the Nine of Pentacles is also, too, often someone who is described as having it all and being very attractive, and which is funny because that comes into this card as well. It's kind of Empress in waiting, Empress in protection energy. Now, so if you were to look at my interpretation on this card, it may not give you much depth. But then when you dig into what Kim Kranz talks about in this card, it gives you depth. Because once you get to know the peacock, you realize that all this beauty that you see on the outside actually comes from inside, that there's an incredible core of beauty that exists within this person, this energy, this space, whatever it is. And then that just like seeps out. So it's not just a superficial surface here of beauty that's being seen. But now what's interesting is I'm wondering if there's somebody that maybe you have met who, I want to put like maybe seems too good to be true, or it's more like, you know, reading a book by its cover. But by the cover, I really honestly feel like the cover that you might be seeing on someone, or I don't know, someone around you in some way here, although there might be distance between you too, with based what's on between you, is that this is too pretty, this is too handsome, this is too something to have much depth. The key here is this is probably someone who alchemizes what's internal here, like, or they alchemize it, or they like almost through like an osmosis, it comes out of them, right? So because there is some sort of depth there. And I guess I could even pick that up too, because I feel like it's a highly intuitive energy. This feels like an antenna that is just like, ooh, which is interesting. You're both so the same. Because you have this antenna energy here that you utilize. So do they. Yours is very energetic. Theirs might be more through visions. Oh. And if at any time you feel like you could flip this, you could. Because it's funny, because you are, I want to say in some way here, much the same. But you may not, like these look so different, don't they? They look so different. They look so different. And right, what is the elk kind of depicted as? The ideal partner, and whether that's personal life or business or anything like that, right? So, and then this is just someone who is incredibly attractive. So maybe, well, there is a sense like, I mean, a peacock is kind of a strange looking creature if you think about it, right? I mean, it's got a bit of a pigeon head. It's got a bit of a pigeon head with these funny things sticking out. And then it's just enormous, particularly, well, the male peacock. It's just an enormous high maintenance. That might be something else. You might get the impression that somebody here is high maintenance. Because what you're seeing here, it's not high maintenance. It's actually a display of their capability. So it's funny because I have a lot to say about you, I will. But there's a lot to say about this energy because I really feel like it might be misunderstood. Because again, thinking about the peacock, it looks so ornate. But the whole idea is, honey, I can look after this in the jungle. I make a good partner. You know what I mean? Because that's what it is. It's not easy to look after a plumage and a tail like that in a jungle or anywhere in the wild, honestly. That's a lot. Like this, they can do it. The peacock can actually do it. I can manage this. Now, I want to say though, this peacock has been going through some sort of overthinking, maybe mental health issues, maybe anxiety, maybe mental health, because it goes into the Four of Swords. It goes from the 9 to the 4, right? But they are strong. They found some strength here. So maybe there's something in that, like just talking about the peacock and the plumage. You know, on the surface, this looks like an awful lot to maintain. I don't want to get involved with that. Maybe this is something that the peacock has faced before with people, and it causes them like an anxiety. Maybe this peacock has felt judged by people before. They have a mental anxiety. Well, they did. The healing and the strength to me feels like they're much stronger mentally. They've also opened up their third eye here. So they're utilizing their 6th and 7th chakras. So the 6th chakra, the 6th chakra, the third eye, it really is our psychic abilities, our intuition, tapping into visions and ideas. And then the 7th chakra is really maintaining that connection to the spirit realm, to source, kind of like the battery that serves our souls. Oh, that's interesting when I talk about the battery. Okay, so, but also kind of having the capacity to transmute light into dark. I kind of bringing that out here. It's an area that might sometimes get overlooked or not mentioned very often with the crown chakra, but being able to identify and transform dark into light. Did I say light into dark? So, well, maybe. I mean, that could be, you know, a time for deep, deep self-reflection. So what do these two energies create? I know we haven't even, well, I've touched on their tarot, but the octopus. Okay, so again, the octopus has, I have my own meaning with it. To me, the octopus is someone who has so much going on in their mind, and it kind of is pulling them in all sorts of directions, and they may not be doing everything to the best of their ability, but they're kind of getting by. It sort of reminds me of what we describe as someone who is a new parent and having to go back to work. So, you know, before you became a parent, life was easy. You know, you could put 100% of yourself into your work. You could put 100% of yourself into your personal life. All of a sudden, you're putting like 10% here, 10% there, 20% here, 30% there. Is anything... Okay, everybody's still alive today. Forgetting, you know, like that's kind of to me. Octopus can be like okay, everything is just like really different now. Kind of like manage here, but there's a lot going on mentally. So one of the things though that Kim Krantz talks about with the octopus is sort of the octopus is highly sensitive because it does have so many areas of sensory perception all over it that it can take on so much that can become overwhelming. And it is also like, I think she talks about, you know, if you are, oh, here's the part where I was talking about the battery, like the, you both have a really strong ability. You both have a very overly developed 7th chakra, crown chakra, in different ways. But that is like connecting to the battery, okay? And because of that, you both might get people that feed off of you energetically. Because the octopus is coming up to say, something is pulling on your energy. You need to step back and figure out what it is. But usually it's kind of like you need to step back because there's so much going on here. You need to identify which thing is pulling on your energy and doing it, like feeding off of you, depleting you, taking the battery out of you. Wouldn't have been this person, and you would not have done that to this person either. That's what I'm seeing with these cards. That's not possible because you both have highly developed crown chakras. I don't know. So it's interesting because you are pointing in another direction, but it's looking towards you. Because it has the 9 of Swords, it might have even, maybe its crown chakra was blocked off at some point in time. It was going through some sort of mental anxiety or a difficult time. Maybe it was feeding off you at one time. And I'm not telling you to go towards it. I mean, I would not, as an empath myself, I would never tell anybody to go back to anyone that could have been depleting them. But I will tell you, it might have been someone in a difficult, because it's healed. Boy, is it healed. It's infinitely healed. I want to say their third eye is, right? Lights up and then it becomes infinite with the Strength card. Now, the one thing that you've got going on here with your, okay, yeah, we'll get to you in a second. Let's finish the octopus. The energy that's being created, right, is this octopus. So I feel like a boundary, because the card that sits right under the octopus is the Hermit. So I feel like some sort of boundary was established, right? And I said, because you're pointing away from this energy. You're not looking towards it. That to me is like with what Kim Krantz can talk about with this octopus, a boundary. And I do feel like in either case, it was a lot going on. Could have even been in some sort of situation that was, could have been a highly volatile situation, or there could have been a lot of people involved. There could have been a lot of different energies involved. And because of this, it could have been difficult to pinpoint what exactly was harboring your energy. So boundary, you've placed a boundary here. I see that. You've definitely placed a boundary. If anything, I want to say that this energy tries to connect with you in the ethereal, through the mind, through the psychic realm. This peacock looks sad, right? Like it's just, I know it's just the shape of the beak, but if you look at the face, it looks sad. It does look sad. And perhaps it's because you are not looking towards it, but there is a part of you that is. And maybe you're tapping into something that they're sending you psychically. So with the octopus, the energy that this is creating is you have the Ace of Wands, the Hermit. Okay, this is like, I immediately realize what needs to be done here. I need to contain myself. I need to get into my own energy. This is not healthy for me. Or even the peacock perhaps saying, you know what, I need to really start looking at myself here. I need to look at myself. Something's not right. Or maybe your reaction to the peacock didn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. I don't understand what's going on. Because the peacock looks towards you almost as if to me, like, look at us, we're so similar. I know you have antlers, but I have this incredible plumage. They're both different things, but they do the same thing. And the peacock can manage a lot. It's got that entire system all around itself that it has to maintain. And the elk is known as a great manager, right? But then the Eight of Wands. So the Eight of Wands. Where my arm got itchy. Hitting something right on target. Hitting something right on target? Or maybe there is some sudden movement or communication out of nowhere. The Cardinal's just been singing up a storm through your whole reading. Okay, you Elky energy, you have the Wheel of Fortune, the Five of Pentacles, and the Magician. Now, see, the Magician energy is the one thing that's looking towards the Peacock's energy. Your body isn't, but the head is turned. Like something has got your attention, which I feel like is some sort of communication. Is this some sort of communication that is created at a distance through like sort of a more psychic or third eye even kind of way? I'm wondering, okay, the Wheel of Fortune into the Five of Pentacles, it's almost as if like you kind of met some sort of unfortunate energy here, or an unfortunate cycle, turning of events, a change of events. And then you're manifesting yourself through that. But you look back at the peacock, I wonder why. Your energy is, oh my God. Okay, whatever the peacock sends to you through its third eye, it gets you in the heart space. It gets you in the heart chakra. There it is. That's what's made you turn around. It's like, wait a second, you just hit me in the heart chakra there. I don't even know how much you know this person. I don't understand what this is. So I wanted to clarify, but before we get there, what was the huge underline? Okay, it was the tarot. So I'll do that after I do the underline for the oracle cards. You have the beaver, you have the stingray, and then you have the earthworm. The beaver for me is somebody who works really, really hard and enjoys the work that they do. They'll really put a lot of themselves into it. It has a very Eight of Pentacles energy for me. They'll work from sun up to sundown with, you know, a cheerful attitude. It's kind of funny though. Why does that come in like here? So, but this is now about, maybe this is trying to work with a cheerful attitude to increase one's confidence, to unravel oneself here. I don't know. My arm is so itchy. It's the weirdest thing. It's not a bite. It just started in your reading, or maybe it is a bite. No. Yeah, working very hard at being courageous and unraveling oneself. And to be able to release one's true, one's true artistic experience? No, that's not right. It's almost like the channeling stopped. Give me a second. Untapped potential. Yeah, okay. I just had to relax for a second. Overthinking. Untapped potential. Like to release this untapped potential, the confidence. Mastering the confidence to release an untapped potential. Sorry, I'm tired. I'm pre-recording these, and I think it's the super moon that we just had. It's really been intense, and Larry's been intense over it too. Oh, for that thing, intense. I think we're getting 2 full moons this month, and I think that makes a blue moon. Isn't that like believe in the impossible? So there you go. You got the 2 of Wands, the Empress, the 3 of Swords, the Hanged Man, 3 of Cups, the Fool, the Son of Cups, and the 2 of Swords. Well, my goodness. Okay. This is kind of being on point to something here. Maybe projecting something and really finding sort of like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow there. There's enormous abundance and potential. But then it's met with a sudden, because it just goes from Empress to 3 of Swords to sudden heartbreak and pain over this finding. Why? Because, well, the Hanged Man comes in, so it's almost as if one just can only sit back and observe. One cannot do anything but that. But then the 3 of Cups comes in. Okay, the 3 of Cups is coming in like a sunset. Almost like saying goodbye to a certain cycle here. To maybe certain friends even. And then like, this feels like sunset in the evening. And you say your goodbyes. And then in the morning, you start off on a new journey. Almost like somebody who packs their bags and goes somewhere. Like you say goodbye in the night. And then the next morning you wake up and off you go. And then, okay, you're following your heart space here. But something is stopping you. Is it this eclipse energy that it's something is happening here? Something's calling you. It's calling you in 2 ways. It's calling you in the fact that, A, I feel like you're not really sure which way to go maybe, or exactly where you should focus your attention. It's becoming apparent that you really need to use your intuition, and there's nothing else that's really going to work here. So that's, to me, kind of incorporating like that crown and 3rd eye area, but then your heart chakra gets hit by someone else's 3rd eye energy, which is really the psychic. So you're getting hit in the heart and the crown here. You're getting these indicators in the heart and the crown chakra that you need to turn and look. Or just turn and look. Try to receive the message that's coming in. At least that, I would say. Try to receive the message that's coming in. All right, let's look at the peacock. I just want to understand. Well, other energy is interesting too, because it's very different from what would typically pick up of you. Okay, the peacock. The peacock. The 6 of Cups. Someone from your past. Anybody can be your past. It's so funny, right? Have you met somebody walking the dog this morning? Well, now they're from your past because it's now the afternoon or whatever. But there is there's a soulmate connection here. I mean, it's definitely, they're connecting to you. The 9 of Swords, though, maybe this is even an indication of the difficulty to connect with you. The 9 of Swords. Yeah, the 8 of Cups. Something was going on here. They couldn't connect. They could not connect. Or even just the anxiety, I want to say, too, of trying to connect to you from a distance. The 4 of Swords. But then this feels healed and they send the message. The 9 of Swords. Yes, it heals the 9 of Swords. Okay, it's healed. This Strength card. I do want to say that the wilted flower, the okay, the Strength card, because it is also an indicator of holding back. You have the Seven of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. I'm wondering now if this Five of Pentacles is a representation of distance between you and someone else. Now I'm kind of wondering if this person took distance and you've kind of gone in another direction. Because they're holding themselves back and they're kind of hiding in the Five of Pentacles. Let's see you. You're the Elk. You really, okay. The Elk, Pisces, the Elk. You shit me, you got the Father of Pentacles. So how are you even the Five? But is this the thing? Did you manifest yourself out of the Five? The Wheel of Fortune. The Hierophant. The Five of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. You had to make, okay. You had to make a very important decision here. Or you've made an important decision, or you're making an important decision. And in this decision, I kind of want to say you may have even like pulled yourself away from something you were working on. Because it becomes apparent that whatever you're working on, right? I talked about the beaver was there, and then you got that Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Swords, like there's something here. It's almost like you caught something in your web that the web couldn't handle. Like, and even energetically speaking, like something came into your environment that, like, it just seemed this spider, if this is landing in there, it's got to like cut this away. You got to, there's something that is interfering with how you would do things. I don't know if this person was energetically interfering. I have no idea. But the Magician, the Seven of Wands, you are guarding your manifestation. You're guarding. You're looking back. You're trying to protect yourself from this energy. So there you go. You're trying to protect yourself from this energy. Let me double check that. Because with this Seven of Wands, sometimes there's like an opening. Like something opens. Like it's like letting the wall down a bit or letting the, peeking out the window. Because you're turning and looking. The Seven of Wands, the Father of Swords. This is really an energy of don't come at me any other way but straight. Yeah, but I want to say, I do feel like you do have your guard up on this energy. Don't come at me any way but straight. And maybe that person didn't do that. I don't know. Oh, so many Nine of Swords. I want to say this person does feel like they did something wrong. Now, okay, what's going on? The energy this is creating. That bird is really sick. You know what, too? I feel like when birds sing like that, they're claiming territory. It's like, you know, anyways. The octopus. Oh my gosh. The Chariot just thumped on the box. Mother of Cups, the Star, Temperance, and the Chariot. That's a lot of major arcana. So this is all about love. Okay, this is about love and emotions here. Whew. Okay, what's really interesting is the birds here, right? Because the one bird is, it's winged this way, which is pointing towards you, like love towards you. And then the star is here, but then the other bird is pointing on the other side of the star, it's pointing towards this way. And the Chariot. And the Mother of Cups is the free movement of love, right? It's the free movement of emotional expression. Again, it's really weird because these are two different birds, but they're like standing in the same way. I kind of feel like you would mirror each other. But when I say that, I mean it in this context. That, okay, I think you're both, I can't remember what the term is for it. Like you're empaths that mirror energy back to people. So if someone approaches you and you're just being you, okay, you're just being you, and someone approaches you and they have a very manipulative way of dealing with people, and they approach you with that, the way that you respond, and I want to say almost on a subconscious level, even just energetically, it almost deflects it right back at them. But what you do is you show people who, I think both of you show people who they are. And so this becomes complicated because if either one of you are a little bit off, you're showing the other, like it gets shown back to you and you kind of think it's coming from them, but it's actually it's showing you, you know what I'm saying? Because you're both kind of like two peas in a pod here, but slightly different. And this is causing a lot of stuff in the head. And then it almost feels like it could snowball. Like, so this energy's got the Nine of Swords over here twice and the Eight of Cups. Where so if any one of you end up in a bit of an anxious state because of it, it's almost like it just compounds. You know, it's kind of that, you know, they say two people are so much alike. Sometimes it's difficult for them to get along because there is a lot of mirroring that goes back and forth. It takes quite a bit of personal strength. Well, that's interesting. This card, they do have the strength card here, the Seven of Swords and the Five of Pentacles, to kind of look at oneself deeply and remove any ego. So the Ace of Wands. Now the chickadee is singing. Yeah. You hear that? Yeah. Ace of Wands. The Son of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. A very practical plan to deal with emotions here. Good thing. Good emotional feelings. The thing in between is good. I want to say it's almost like you both went to your separate corners to do some sort of work on yourselves. Which I would say would be needed here with what I'm reading. Because you mirror each other. You're both the same type of empath. And if one of you is kind of off, it's the other one is getting red flags all about you. But you're also getting red flags about them and think it's like, oh my God. Actually, it's almost like if you're off, you're going to start to get red flags that make you pull away. The only way to resolve this is space and distance. Because, right, if one is off, let's say you and me, we meet, and we're these energies that I'm talking about. I'm off. I'm off. I'm having some mental anxiety going on. I'm just not on my game. And then I meet you and you mirror this back to me. And because of the state that I'm in, I'm assuming that's you. I'm like, oh my God, this person. So then I kind of pull back, and then you're thinking, what's going on with that person? I was just like, why are they doing that? Or why are they acting that way? Or why are they acting suspicious? Or why are they... So now you're taking on this energy that's not even really, it's not yours. If you had understood that they were just seeing themselves and it repulsed them, they needed to move away. But then it's almost like you start to take something on here yourself. And then if they work on them, they work past something a little bit and they come towards you. And now it's almost like you've picked something up because you're both empathic reflectors. That's what I'm hearing, empathic reflectors. And so now the thing that you've taken on for yourself that you didn't need to take on, which was kind of theirs in the first place, or mine, or whatever, now that's mirrored back to you. And you get like, do you know what I'm saying? Like this is like a tennis match of empathic reflectors. So this distance, I feel like, is important because both need to do something with themselves. I'm kind of wondering if you understand this more than they did or do, because your energy it's like gone in another direction, but it does look back. Both of these cards are looking in that energy, in that direction. They're definitely like full on looking towards you. Like soulmate, where have you gone? The mental issues are better now. The Hermit. The page, I'm not going to say anything. The Hermit. The Page of Wands and the Four of Pentacles. Mum's the word. Not going to say anything. Not going to say anything. So that's interesting. This is really an interesting reading. The empathic reflectors to kind of met each other here. And I think you pulled away or stepped away or did something. The Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands. The Moon, the Three of Pentacles, and the Daughter of Cups. I don't know. This is almost like you guys could... Somebody, I don't know if it's between the two of you, end up like working on something together. And it kind of, it just sort of just starts to bring in these... I want to say surface level feelings. Just to kind of like dip your toe in the water a bit here. With just Daughter of Cups, but the Tower and the Three is... Boom. What this energy is creating. It's creating... Yeah, it's creating distance. It's creating sort of like a more practical approach to emotions here. It's not talking, it's not communicating. It almost forces one another or this person to look, I don't know, maybe you've already dealt with some stuff here. I mean, you're not showing up with the same sort of anxiety that this energy is or was. So, and I say was because it's got the Four of Swords, so it looks like it's healing it. But honestly, I really do feel like you both have to be empathic reflectors to do this. Oh, and see, right too, and then this is the containment. This is almost too, I want to say perfecting. Maybe it is like the okay. Having enough backbone to protect your energy, to hold it back in a sense. mastering that. It's not so much mastering being able to release it, but being able to hold it, to contain it, to not share it, to not share your energy here. Huh. This card is the the underline is the 5 of Wands. That's the only one. I have to clean this deck too. It's the only one. Is this the 5 of Wands? A conflict. Yeah, I would say there was some sort of a conflict or competing problems. I'm going to go do the extended, Pisces. That was fascinating. The Empathic Reflectors. So, okay. I'm going to, all those underlying cards are going to get shuffled back into the deck. And I'm going to continue to use the same decks. I'm going to keep the stuff that's on the table, though, for the face of the reading. I'm going to look at your energy, the energy outside of you, what these two energies are creating, how they continue to kind of transform and move forward using the same decks. There you go, Pisces. Fascinating information. Thank you so much. Until next time, do be... That just came out. I was going to say, do be interested in yourself. What does that mean? That is odd. That was totally channeled. I'm a little bit tired because I haven't been sleeping well with the moon. So I think it's almost easier for the universe to just channel shit out of my mouth. Cindy's own conscious ego is down. We can like spit anything out. So do be interested in yourself. I don't know what that means. But do be gentle with yourself too. Bye.